To register for dual credit or SENCAP classes, log on to thehub.southeast.edu, locate the Quick Links tab, and then click on Self-Service. This next screen will open up and you'll click on Course Catalog. Here you'll enter in the term you're registering for, the subject, the course number, and the section. If you're taking an online class and you don't know the section, that's okay. You can just leave this blank and look for an opening on the next page. If you are taking an in-person class, you will need to know the exact section that you need to register for. The location we're going to select is Other. All SENCAP and dual credit classes will have the location of Other. And then let's click Search. Here you can see our classes listed, and we can click Add, and then Add Section. Our screen tip tells us that this has been added to our plan schedule. We are not quite registered for this class. So to complete registration, click on Academics and Register for Classes. Here you can see the classes listed. If the class is not listed here, you can arrow over and it might be a different term that you're trying to register for. And then let's click Register. When the system is done registering for your class, you will be registered for this class. Your next step would be to check the SCC bookstore to determine if you need to purchase textbooks. And you can do that by going on to sccbookstore.com. I do want to cover a few other scenarios that you might run into. One would be if you're trying to register for a year-long class, and then the other would be if you're trying to register for a class that might have prerequisites. So if you're trying to register for a class that is year-long, you'll need to select the spring semester of the next year, and we'll go over that next. So here our screen tip tells us that this is a high school only class, and it must be logged in within the first 2 days or you'll be dropped. This is only relevant if you're taking an online class. If you're taking an in-person class, you can disregard this tip. So let's go back and I'll show you the year-long class. You can just click the SCC logo, Course Catalog, and then here in the term, you're just going to select the spring term, and you're going to do everything else the same. Typically, these are mostly math classes. So you'll do your course number, your section, and then you'll log down here and click Other. So that's what you need to do to take a year-long class. Now let's go over a class that might have a prerequisite. So we're going to click our term, our subject, our course number, and our section. Scroll down to the bottom, location is Other, and then click Search. Here you can see our classes listed, and then we'll click Add. Our screen tip here tells us that we must meet one of these prerequisites before we can register for this class. So if you do meet one of these prerequisites, please have your school counselor or your SENCAP coordinator send in your transcript or your testing scores to the appropriate individual, and then they can take off this screen tip of your account and you can register for the class. We can still add this class to our plan, so let's do that. Click Add Section. And it says that this has been added to our plan schedule. So we can go over to Academics and Register for Classes. And once your transcripts are sent in saying that you meet these prerequisites, you'll be able to register for this class. At this point, you won't be able to register for this class. I did want to show you how you can check and make sure where you are in the steps of registering for all of your classes. So if you click on Timeline, you can see here that we are registered for this psychology class for the fall 2022 semester, but we're not registered for this class because the screen tip tells us that we must meet one of these prerequisites. If you were to have registered for the year-long class, it would show up here. If you have any questions or concerns at this time, please contact your SENCAP coordinator or your counselor at your school.